on Sport Today, live there from Sao Paulo. We're going to stay with football now. What do you do after winning your first major trophy? It's the best kind of headache, really, isn't it? The kind of headache that Germany's Joachim Löw might be having right about now. So do you take a step back and reflect? Do you pretend nothing has changed in your life? Or maybe you think about walking away knowing it can't really get much better than this. Safe to say, there is plenty to think about, isn't there? But there is one thing that you wouldn't have on your mind, and that surely is whether you might get sacked. Unless, that is, your name is Mido. The former Premier League player has become the youngest manager to win a trophy in Egypt after guiding Zamalek to the Egyptian Cup on Saturday. But even that isn't enough to give him job security. A below-par showing in the league and the African Champions League prompted the club president, Mortada Mansour, to say that his future will be decided by the club's board. "We are a democracy," he said. "Everyone will have a vote. Then I'll ignore them and decide for myself." Well, we're still waiting to find out what's going to happen to Mido, but KingFoot.com's Mohamed Seif has been telling me that Zamalek supporters are very much backing their manager.
It's not totally surprising for a lot of fans, basically, but at this very moment in time, you've got a lot of the fans behind Mido. Quite an achievement with winning the Egyptian Cup. So it's quite an achievement for Mido. But at the same time, with looking at the history with Zamalek, especially with the board of directors, they always tend to interfere with different aspects of the club. So not just in terms of the managers and stuff like that, but just as well with the players, with the different transfers, with the players getting in players that the managers don't necessarily want, always interfering with stuff. So looking at the history of Zamalek, it's not quite surprising that might happen, basically.
What's the feeling in Egypt at the moment? Which way is the people think this is going to go?
No, he's 90%. So basically, there's especially with the Zamalek fans. So there's this notion that Mido will be Zamalek manager for next season as well. So there's nothing regarding that. The only thing that basically would make Mido not stay as a Zamalek manager for next season is that if something happens with the Mortada Mansour, the club's president, or some sort of misunderstanding happens between them, pretty sure that he's going to be manager for next season.
Mohamed, we know Mido as quite a fiery character, shall we say, particularly from his time in the Premier League. And I've read some of the quotes from Mortada Mansour saying that he will listen to the voices of the members but then ignore them and make his own decision. He sounds like a bit of a character as well. I wonder, are these two kind of bound to fall out at some point?
It's quite interesting because Mortada Mansour is obviously quite a fiery character as well, even more fiery than Mido, and he's quite a controversial character. Obviously, he's good for Zamalek. He did a lot of good stuff, but again, he's quite the stubborn character. And Mido is as well. So that's the thing. The clash of heads that could happen is that if one way or another they have some sort of miscommunication, then problems will occur. So if that happens, then definitely I'm going to say that Mido will actually take the decision to quit. I mean, Mido obviously loves Zamalek, but when they're not seeing eye to eye, obviously with the club as a president of the club, he'll remain, and Mido might step down later on.
Mohamed Seif there from KingFoot.com.